One of my favorite jokes from the comedian Jamar is when he had a reference to sex, especially pulling out. And he says, look, you pull out, you make a map of Hawaii on her stomach. I've always found that to be funny, and I've used it frequently over the course of the past, I want to say, probably around 18 years since I read that particular line. I think it's really funny. But the idea there is that you want to pull out, make a map of Hawaii on a woman's stomach or back or tits or face in order to basically not get her pregnant. Because pregnancy is a scary, scary thing. Something I've recently experienced. On the other end of that, at least. But hey, I got my daughter. My daughter's gorgeous. But here, we've always been talking about the question about the male contraceptive pill. Is it a reality? Can it ever be a reality? Or is it like the great white buffalo? Just a myth, a legend, one of those things. But according to this study here, or this new thing, male contraceptive pill is safe to use and does not harm sex drive. And this is coming from a clinical trial. Now, that's something to consider, right? It reduces your sperm count to 0, but it doesn't harm your sex drive, which is good. Because when you realize that you're firing off blanks and you have no chance of even remotely getting a girl pregnant, you don't have to do what we would call pulling a Warski, which is good. Now, a male contraceptive pill has been developed which is effective, safe, and does not harm the sex drive, scientists have announced. I always love it when those words are combined together. Scientists have discovered that We've done some cool things when it comes to male reproductive rights, meaning you don't have to do it, but you can still get all the benefits from it. It's kind of like Splenda. Tastes like sugar, isn't really sugar. Now, in what has been described as a major step forward, the drug was successfully tested on 83 men for a month for the first time. So far, efforts to create a once-daily pill to mimic the mainstream female contraceptive has stalled because men metabolize and clear out the hormones it delivers too quickly. And that is definitely something that's been a problem here. It's like it's not like the depot shot or this kind of pill. It's like it's just, yeah, it doesn't stay in there as long, you know. And now they might have been able to figure out a way to do that. I'm kind of surprised they didn't figure out a way to make this stuff kind of tie into your fat, because it just kind of sucked up and absorbed in there and whatnot. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking on my ass on this one. So anyway, it means that temporary male contraception has relied on condoms alone, with the main hopes for future contraceptive developments resting on a long-acting injection or topical gel, both of which are also under development. And here's something to consider too. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been working on contraceptive plans. But one of them was a radio frequency, kind of an RFID chip that would go inside of a woman's hoo-hoo in order to then prevent her from, well, getting pregnant. It would radio remote control her uterus when the eggs drop out of the tubes and stuff. Don't quite know what the update is on that. It's been a couple years. But the idea there essentially is that people have been trying to find new scientific ways to keep you from getting pregnant, right? And even though Japan right now and in other countries are kind of feeling that the low birth rate and whatnot, here in America people are just like, no, sign me up, sign me up. Now it says, however, the new drug called thandronolone, whatever, or DMAO, includes a long chain fatty acid which slows down on the clearance, allowing just one dose to be taken each day. I called it. It's going to be in the fat. It's always going to be in the fat. Like the pill for women, the experimental pill combines activity of androgen, the male hormone such as testosterone, and progestin. Investigators at the University of Washington Medical Center tested 3 doses of DMAO, 100, 200, 400 milligrams, on 100 healthy men between the ages of 18 and 50 years old, 83 of whom completed the study, which is actually not bad. Actually not bad at all. Now, it says here they were first subject to blood sampling for hormone and cholesterol testing, and on the first and last days of the study, and the highest dose of DMAO tested was 400 milligrams. Subjects showed marked suppression of levels in their testosterone and 2 hormones required for sperm production. The results showed that the pill worked only if taken with food. Despite having low levels of circulating testosterone, very few subjects reported symptoms consistent with testosterone deficiency or excess. This coming from Professor Stephanie Page, the senior investigator on the study. Now that's kind of funny. I'm just, you figure you would have been a guy trying to figure this whole thing out, but really you got like a woman whose entire job is to like look at the sperm count and 83 men firing off knuckle children, right? Like her entire job is basically just like Stormy Daniels, but she gets paid probably a whole hell of a lot less. Now, she says here that these promising results are unprecedented in the development of a prototype male pill. All groups taking DMAO have experienced some weight gain, as well as decreases in HDL, which would be good cholesterol. Yeah, weight gain is going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing. But hey, we live in America. We're like, obesity is now kind of the norm. So, you know, if you're going to take this pill, hit the gym a little bit more. You might gain on a little bit of weight, but you're going to be slowly getting rid of it. Now, however, all the subjects passed their safety tests, including markers for liver and kidney function. DMAO is a major step forward in the development of a once-a-day once-daily male pill, which is good, really good. I know a lot of guys that would love that in a heartbeat. Like, you know, you get to a point too where you're just like, I don't want to, like, you know, have kids right now. I can take this pill, but the problem with it is though, is that it takes time to kick in. You know, like my nephew was born, or conceived, I should say, as a result of not fully paying attention to when the pill was taken or the shot was taken or something. And it was kind of like, you know, my sister wasn't really paying attention, which doesn't ultimately surprise me knowing my sister. But at the same time, it's kind of like, hey, you want to get on this birth control? And then like, sure, okie dokie. And then, you know, 9 months later, my nephew comes out and, you know, he's a very sweet kid. I love him to death. So it's so it says many men would prefer a daily pill as a reversible contraceptive rather than long-acting injections or topical gels. Contraceptive pills for females have been around for almost 70 years, although only achieved widespread use in Britain, including the availability on the NHS in 1961. However, other than the condom, which were first invented in 1855, there have never been a temporary male contraceptive. And that the thing is, we need more of that. Especially, I think, in this day and age, where you've got the fear, and it's just a fear, but you know, it's a fear, where you've got women that might possibly, you know, try to hijack your sperm jacking, to get pregnant. It's happened, right? But if you're taking this and you don't tell them that, and then if they get pregnant, you're like, no, I'm on the male pill. That's why I was weeping at a rerun of Downton Abbey last week. It's so good. But the point is, essentially, this is going to go a long way to ultimately destroy the Maury Povich show. And I think that's okay. Or really kind of like nail it down, right? Really can narrow down those particular paternity episodes. But then again, that is some fun daytime television. But a male contraceptive pill is something we all should champion. We really should. If women have the opportunity to take the pill or have the choice of whether or not how they want to proceed with the pregnancy or not proceed with the pregnancy, men need something similar to that, and that's not just a condom. Condoms are not 100% effective. We know about this. We know that there's sabotage in condoms every once in a while, and it can happen on both genders. And as a result of that, unwanted children, it's not their fault that they kind of got caught up in the situation, but these kind of things can now be prevented by a once-a-day pill. And yeah, I'm actually 100% all for that. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, thumbs it up, hit on that subscribe, check out 3 Buck Theater, check out Mundane Chats, or if you just want to help support the channel, the best way to do that is patreon.com/mundanematt, link below in the video description. Thank you guys again, have yourself a great day, and peace out.